So I really enjoyed coming and getting a chance to see your lesson in action about homophones and homographs. Um, um, how do you think the lesson went?
Well, I thought it went well as far as the children were excited about the lesson and they were engaged. But some of the things that I asked them to do, like I asked them to use the word in a sentence and to tell the friend about the word, they just didn't do it. And so I didn't like that they didn't follow all those instructions when they were in their group work. And so I would like to figure out a way to where that part would have gone better, where they would have followed the instructions better.
Okay, and you said the piece that you were really interested in to see if it aligned with the TEAC was the assessment piece.
Mm-hmm.
And the students used those words with the partner, um, use those words in a piece of writing, which
Mm-hmm.
I think the TEAGs are to be able to identify and use those particular words correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that directly, um, sorry, um, I think that definitely correlates with what the TEAG it is that you have. And I liked the way that that they first you had them identify words, and then you had them tell what it means by using it in a sentence with somebody. Um, and so I think it all aligned really well. Um, what do you think about the assessment piece? How did you feel about that?
I felt like the assessment piece did align well, where they had to actually use them in sentences, and they actually wrote the story using the homophones. And I could tell at that point that they really did know what the homophones meant, and they really understood that words can have different meanings. And so I did like that. I was just, like I said before, it was just during the first piece of it where they were doing the group work and coming up with the homophones and the homographs that I had asked them to do several steps, and they weren't necessarily doing that. They were just kind of coming up with words and telling each other about the words in a different way, that where they weren't really talking about the meanings. But maybe there's something I can change on that end, so that when they were coming up with the words, they would actually use those words. Something to make them actually do the activity that they were supposed to do during that time when they're in group work.
Okay. And my suggestion would be maybe you could have somewhere the steps listed.
Okay.
So, like maybe on the board, you could say, number one, come up with homophones, homographs. Number two, share with a partner using it in a sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe that will help breaking it down.
Okay.
I did have a question though. Was there a certain time limit that you gave them to come up with those things?
I didn't give a time limit. I just was watching them,
Okay.
and when I felt like that they were not coming up with new ones,
Okay.
then I went ahead and stopped the activity. Do you think it would have been better with a timer or a time limit?
Well, not necessarily. I just sometimes I know that and it's with older kids, if you give them a time limit, there's not a lot of like relaxed time because they know they have to get done before it's over.
Okay, that's a good idea.
But
So like
but
maybe
it's
set a
just
timer on the board and say we're going to do this for the next 15 minutes and have it run down on the smart board or something.
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And so then there's two kind of visual things that they can see. This is how much time I have left, and this is the things that I need to have done before the time runs out. So
Okay.
those are just some suggestions. Although I loved the lesson, I thought it was great. I loved the paper. You had those big pieces of paper
Mm-hmm.
on the table. I loved that. I think the groups were well put together,
Mm-hmm.
and because there were some that I could tell that were not weren't proficient with that particular thing, and ones that were better at it, and they kind of helped each other, and I thought that was really great. So, any other questions, comments?
No, those suggestions are really good. I'm going to try those next time. So thank you.
Thank you.